The doctor's words echoed in my ears, each syllable a hammer blow to my soul. Inoperable, terminal, months. It felt like the ground beneath me had vanished, leaving me suspended in a void of despair. The world blurred around me, my breath hitched in my chest, each inhale a struggle against the weight of the news. My vision swam, and I felt a cold sweat break out on my forehead. I had always been a man of meticulous plans, intricate designs. Every detail mattered. Every line had a purpose. My life was a blueprint, carefully crafted and executed with precision. But this was chaos. This was the universe mocking me, reminding me that even the grandest designs could be erased with a whisper. The careful plans I had laid out for my future now seemed laughable, insignificant. Denial morphed into anger, a bitter taste in my mouth. How could this happen to me? I had done everything right, followed every rule. The injustice of it all burned within me. Was this it? Was this the sum of my life, to be snuffed out by an unseen enemy? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more painful than the last. What had I done to deserve this fate? I slammed my fist on the table, the sound lost in the sterile silence of the doctor's office. The impact reverberated through my bones, a futile attempt to regain control. Alone in my workshop, surrounded by the tools of my trade, I felt a coldness creep in. The familiar surroundings now felt alien, as if they belonged to someone else. It wasn't just the diagnosis. It was the realization that my life, my work, my very existence meant nothing in the face of oblivion. The thought was paralyzing, a heavy shroud that threatened to suffocate me. How could I find meaning in a world that seemed so indifferent to my existence? The air in the support group was thick with despair, a suffocating blanket of shared mortality. It was as if the room itself was weighed down by the collective sorrow of its occupants. I sat silently, observing the faces around me, each etched with fear and resignation. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional sigh or shuffle of feet. Then, a voice cut through the gloom, piercing the heavy atmosphere like a beacon. Henry, a man with eyes that mirrored my own quiet desperation, spoke of a miracle. His words were filled with an unexpected fervor. A clinic, a chance, a possibility that seemed almost too good to be true. I listened, skeptical yet clinging to every word. Could this be it? Could this be the lifeline we all so desperately needed? Could there be a light at the end of this suffocating tunnel? The thought was both terrifying and exhilarating. After the meeting, I approached Henry, our shared desperation forming an instant bond. We spoke in hushed tones, our conversation a lifeline in the sea of despair. Henry spoke with a fervor that bordered on mania, but beneath it all, I sensed a kernel of hope. His eyes sparkled with a light that had been absent for so long. A flicker in the darkness, a glimmer that promised something more. That night, I lay awake, staring into the abyss of my uncertain future. The darkness seemed less oppressive, the silence less suffocating. Henry's words resonated in my mind, echoing in the quiet of the night. A seed of hope had been planted, fragile yet tenacious. It was a small, delicate thing, but it was there, growing slowly in the fertile soil of my newfound optimism. The clinic was pristine, a sterile sanctuary of white walls and forced smiles. Cecilia, the director, exuded an air of quiet confidence, her words a soothing balm on my raw nerves. She spoke of revolutionary treatments, of groundbreaking research, of a future free from fear. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. I threw myself into the routine, enduring endless tests, swallowing experimental pills, clinging to the hope that Cecilia and her team offered. I formed bonds with other patients, our shared struggle a fragile thread of camaraderie in the face of death. Weeks turned into months. My health, however, remained unchanged. Doubt gnawed at the edges of my hope. The seed of suspicion, once planted, grew with relentless persistence. My workshop became a chamber of horrors, my engineering genius twisted into a macabre art form. I designed elaborate traps, each one a testament to my rage and my desire for retribution.
Each target was carefully chosen, their role in the scam meticulously documented. Diego, the recruiter who had lured him in with honeyed words. Valentina, the nurse who administered the placebo treatments, her smile a cruel mockery of compassion. Mateo, the financial officer who lined his pockets with their despair. And at the top of his list, Cecilia, the architect of their misery, the puppet master pulling the strings of their demise.
They would all understand. They would be reborn, or they would die trying. Diego awoke to darkness, the metallic scent of blood heavy in the air. Panic surged through him as he realized he was trapped, his body bound to a chair, a rusty metal contraption bolted to his head. A distorted voice echoed through the darkness, chilling him to the bone.
John spoke of second chances, of the preciousness of life, of the choices we make, the contraption whirred to life, the gears grinding against his skull. Diego screamed, his pleas for mercy drowned out by the sound of his own bones cracking under the relentless pressure. John watched impassively, his gaze cold and unforgiving.
Diego had made his choice. He had chosen to exploit the desperate, to profit from their pain. Now, he would face the consequences. Valentina found herself in a derelict hospital ward, the air thick with the stench of decay. A chilling voice echoed through the corridors, guiding her through a series of gruesome tasks. Each task tested her compassion, her humanity. She was forced to confront the suffering she had inflicted, to feel the weight of her betrayal.
John's voice, laced with chilling calm, urged her to choose, to embrace redemption or succumb to her sins. The final test awaited in the operating theater. A single scalpel lay on a tray, its polished surface reflecting her terrified face. A desperate gamble, a chance for atonement.
My world shrunk to the confines of a steel cage, the bars cold and unforgiving against my skin.
Before you lies a mountain of cash, the ill-gotten gains of your deception. But escape comes with a price. To reach the exit, you must crawl through a narrow tunnel, lined with razor-sharp blades. Each inch forward will bring excruciating pain, each drop of blood a testament to your greed.
John watched from the shadows, his silhouette a grim reaper judging Mateo's every move.
Gabriella, you awoke strapped to a chair, your heart pounding against your ribs. You see me on the screen, my face a mask of disappointment and rage. I speak of your role in the scam, of your betrayal of trust, of the lives you have helped destroy. Before you is a single syringe, filled with a clear liquid. You have a choice. Inject yourself with the unknown substance, or face the consequences of your actions. The timer ticks down, each second an eternity.
Fear warred with defiance in Gabriella's eyes. Her hand trembled as she reached for the syringe, her fate hanging in the balance. The warehouse echoed with the sounds of struggle and desperation. Parker, a seasoned detective haunted by his own demons, had finally cornered John. The air crackled with tension, the silence punctuated by the heavy thud of their footsteps. John, weak but resolute, had saved his most intricate trap for last.
Help me, please.
Cecilia, her eyes wide with terror, lay strapped to a table, her fate intertwined with Parker's choices. A twisted game of cat and mouse ensued, a deadly dance between justice and vengeance.
Parker, you are torn between duty and compassion. You face an impossible decision.
The warehouse fell silent, the aftermath a tableau of blood and broken bodies. The air was thick with the scent of iron and despair, a grim reminder of the night's events. Cecilia's screams had been silenced, her fate sealed by Parker's hesitation. Her last moments were a haunting echo, a testament to the cruelty of indecision. John, his purpose fulfilled, disappeared into the night, aided by his new disciples, Amanda and Carlos. Together, they vanished like phantoms, leaving behind a legacy of terror.
I once sought to cheat death, but now I have become an agent of it. My transformation was not sudden, but a gradual descent into darkness. My legacy, etched in blood and pain, will forever be a chilling reminder of the lengths to which one man will go to right the scales of justice. Each drop of blood, each cry of agony, is a mark of my resolve. My methods are extreme, my motives twisted, my actions indefensible. Yet in my mind, they are justified by the greater good I believe I am serving. But in the darkest corners of my mind, I believe I am delivering a twisted form of salvation. A salvation that only I can provide through the trials I set. I am the Jigsaw Killer, and my games have just begun. Each trap, each puzzle, is a step towards my ultimate goal.
John, flanked by Amanda and Carlos, walks away from the burning warehouse, his silhouette receding into the night. The flames behind them a symbol of their destructive path, a path they are determined to follow.